What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. This is Jason with Ray of Light Tarot, also known as Seva Sundar. I'm here with my dear friend Jai from Channel for Grace. What's up, Jai?
Hey, hello everybody. How's it going? It's good to be here.
Yeah, I'm super happy. We just kind of decided, guys, last minute to come on tonight. One of the main reasons is because of this intuition explosion. I've been noticing, and I noticed it the last time too. We're doing this Purium cleanse, this 40-day intense cleanse. Well, the 10 days are the intense part, the 40-day cleanse overall. We're on day 4 of the intense 10 days. And Jai, I feel great. I know you do, right?
Yeah, I feel amazing. The first few days were kind of gnarly. I felt really tired. I had like very low energy. And then today I woke up, I finally felt rested.
Yeah, well, I have to be honest. I feel really good in the mornings. I wake up really early, and I've been feeling pretty good in the mornings. By mid-morning, but like at like 5:36 in the morning, by mid-morning, like 10 a.m., I've been pretty tired throughout the day, but I feel good. It's not like a vibrational thing or like a physical thing. I'm just tired, and you got to expect that. I'm coming off of like no caffeine I just weaned off caffeine, the vape, a lot of other things too. So for me, it's probably even more than I dealt with last time, but I feel so good. It's so worth it. And intuition wise, I can just feel the messages coming through clearer. And
Yeah, me
I
too.
think we wanted to give you guys a chance to get some guidance. I've gotten some messages from people who are going through a lot of questioning because of the energies right now about like, should I reach out to my twin soul? Should I reach out to my soulmate? I'm feeling them so strong, and I get it. I feel that energy too from that other part. But at the same time, the answer is usually no if they've asked you not to. So that's usually the answer no matter what you're feeling. But Jai and I have really noticed a common thread. Oh, before we get into this, I'm going to just say, guys, anyone who comes in, if you want to get on the list, we only have 2 on the list right now. So if you want to get on the list to get a reading, we're going to start in just about 5 minutes or so, getting the list going and getting you guys guidance. So it's $25 love donation, Cash App or PayPal. And they're there for you in the description. So that's where to go to get on the list if you would like to get a reading. But while we wait to get the list moving, we will talk to you guys about some of this. So the energies, Jai, like there's been a common thread I think we've both noticed. And for me, I called it like a separation almost. Like a lot of us are waking up, and we always notice people who are sort of like sleepwalkers and stuff. But there's also among people who are in this community, woke, quote unquote woke, there's sort of a separation too sometimes, I notice, because it's whether it's authentic or not. I mean, you guys know I get on my channel and sometimes I get a little emotional, sometimes I get a little bit curt, but you're going to get the real me, whether it's bubbly with love or telling it like it is. It's going to be the real deal. And being authentic is so important on this journey. And I'm noticing recently I've been getting this message about telling you guys to be still and respect the silence. Part of the reason that's coming through so strong is that's about the big separation I'm noticing is people who can rest comfortably in the silence. And with the energy right now, there's this other side, people who the silence is almost making them cool.
Yeah.
Like we've been dealing with guys, I talked about that person who some of have received like those long manifestos from. That's just one example of this like frenetic energy that some people are falling victim to, I think. But what do you think it is, Jai? There's like some astrological thing going on, right?
Yeah. So we were talking about it earlier that, well, in my life, I've noticed that there's been a lot going on in the realm of relationships and letting go and releasing and being okay with it and not having to explain yourself and things like that. There's you guys know, I mean, I kind of talk about this one is kind of major one for me, the whole like mother thing. So I haven't been talking to my mom for a really long time. And that's kind of, for me, it's a very important passage or something important is coming from that. But that's one of the very first relationships that I've noticed have taken a very different course in my life. And I feel myself, because the universe has been calling us to like step up and step up and step up and step up over and over and over again. And it's been non-stop. It's like,
right? Non-stop.
a relentless energy of like, here comes the next lesson. Here comes the next lesson. Here's the next step. Here's how you get to the next step. And there's been no time to like rest. It's just go, go,
And
go.
then even when you get the lesson, it's like these confirmation tests keep coming in, like things that maybe aren't that significant to you, but they're still like in your face. It's a test. Are you going to let this thing or this situation or this person take you off your center with, nonsense?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I've been noticing in my own personal life. And it dawned on me the other day that a lot of astrologers are talking about this conjunction between Saturn and Pluto. And they're close together. They're traveling very close together. So you're going to feel Saturn is kind of the energy of Saturn likes to put the hammer down. He's like, it's the rules. It's like these are the rules. And then Pluto is all about transformation, usually felt through the energy of death. So things dying so that you can be reborn, so that you can do that process of letting go, of releasing. So it's like, as Saturn's putting the hammer down on people, it's asking you to like there's no mercy. It's all letting go and releasing.
I'll tell you, I'd like to just stop before you get to the actual meat and potatoes of it or whatever. Yeah. I just want to add, here's an example of what I've experienced, guys, in my life. Someone who I've been friends with for years, even to the point that when I was really bad, not taking good care of myself and on drugs, she separated from me because she didn't want to be around that energy, right? Understandably, I wouldn't have wanted to be around that energy either, and I had to be. But as I have gotten my life back on track, that person come back into my life, and we've had, some good exchanges as friends. However, recently, that person was like, we aren't in good touch anymore because people move on. You go in different directions. Doesn't mean you don't love somebody, right? Just happens. I'm very busy. And recently that person like came out of the blue, like saying that they saw a video of mine and thought I was on drugs, which I wasn't. And then more recently, they've like had some personal issues of their own come up and tried to reach out to me. And it kind of like, I'm very sympathetic for people, what they're going through, but it's been almost frenetic, this reaching out. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, you can't take me off the shelf when you need me and try to put a guilt trip on me because that's what you're going through. Like, we are all autonomous beings over our own life. And I felt the same way at times. Like, I could have used a friend, but I didn't make my problems anyone else's. And if someone chose to be there for me, they chose to. But it's kind of an energy where you can feel this when you feel something, and I could feel it's like a frenetic energy of trying to like, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Well, I see you guys. And that's a common thread right now with people. This like, hey, I'm here. Look at me. Well, we all have felt that way at times, I think. But when I see people behave that way now, where I'm at spiritually, because I can feel the difference like you can between a true need and someone looking for attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a need that needs to be addressed within oneself.
So there's two, like you said, there's two like paths or two journeys right now that are opening up for people. On the one hand, people that are asked to step up and truly release, let go, and they're doing the work and they're like moving forward in their life. They have those people have energetically surpassed a lot of stuff. And so they're like their consciousness, their awareness, how they see things, the perception of reality, their perception of what they're seeing in the world, and they're looking at it from a completely different eye. This is reminding me of the dragon card and the spirit animal cards. It's like the eye that kind of looks at you, and it's like it's looking right at you. You can see in a very powerful way what's really going on behind the surface, what's really going on. And this isn't like a fake behind this. This isn't an ego thing. It's not like what you think is going on behind the surface. It's what's actually going on. You see
it's reality, yes.
Going on. Yeah. And so it's difficult when you're in that situation to face situations in your life that feel like they don't match. You notice it's like what you're seeing is the huge like separation between where you're at and where other people are at in your life. And it's a very, very challenging place to be. It's very challenging because you have to be okay with the fact that you have changed. You have changed a lot and you are very different. And things in your life, you're no longer seeing them in the way that you're seeing them. And you no longer want to engage with that energy, with anything that doesn't like match. You know what I mean? You don't want to engage with it. There's just no desire to. And that's the difference, right? But that's what's going on right now with a lot of people. It's like, we're seeing the difference. There's like on this end, you know, like the people that are feeling amazing, they're growing, they're stepping into maturity. They're becoming mature adults. You know what I mean? And they're stepping into that and they understand how the world works. Yeah. And they have a perspective. They have like that almost like Saturn perspective. They're stepping into, because Saturn is not always a bad thing. Saturn, the planet Saturn can be an energy that like brings the hammer down and these are the rules. And then your life starts to change. And when we're about 29 years old, we go through what it's called the Saturn return. And that's when we mature, because our life falls apart so that we can like take responsibility for the things that we have done and become adults, like grow up.
That's an amazing time of life when you at about 29 years old, right before you're 30. That Saturn return is an amazing time of growth.
So yes, it's an amazing, and it's hard. It's very hard because it's almost like the hammer is being brought down, right? But then when you get through that phase of life, what happens is you see, you are now in the place of the Saturn energy. Like you have now gone through the shit that you've needed to go through in order to see the world differently, in order to see that you're not the only one. You know what I mean? You're not the only one in this situation, and it's possible for other people to see things differently. And
I just have to add, not only is it possible for other people to see things differently, I was talking to someone about this earlier this morning. We talk about gaslighting. Gaslighting, guys, this is what you may be aware of for the people in your life that you notice that are sort of off the chain all of a sudden. Very much needing some kind of validation or attention. And that's going to be someone who's not centered, whose life doesn't match what they know is moral, and even their own terms of moral, it's not matching in some way. What they're living and what they believe in are not matching. So they're going to be looking for validation from you and other people. And what they may tend to do is called gaslighting. We think of gaslighting in big terms, like it's when someone tries to make someone else think they're crazy. Well, it can be much smaller than that and much more subtle. Gaslighting is anytime someone tries willfully and knowingly to put their feelings about you into your head about yourself when they specifically are only their feelings. Like if somebody tells me, you're being selfish, you're not it's one thing to say, why haven't you responded to me? I've texted you 5 times and I haven't heard from you. That hurts my feelings. It's another thing to say, you're behaving very selfishly by not responding to me. You're a self-centered jerk, or you're a self-centered person, or whatever. That's putting your feelings about, that's gaslighting. That is gaslighting, and it's not accurate. That's your perspective about my behavior. You actually don't know what I feel or think or am going through unless I choose to open my mouth and share it with you. And most people in my life who are insignificant, no shade, no drama, no hurt feelings toward anyone, but if you're insignificant to me and we don't have an authentic relationship, you're probably not going to hear my feelings. You're just going to hear me quietly walk away.
Yeah. And that's interesting. That quiet walking away, that's kind of been a theme in my life as well. There's a certain maturity that comes with being able to truly walk away. And we have a lot of, in this community, the twin flame community, like soulmate community, a lot of us are entangled in the need to like have this desire to be with those people that are in like separation. Like we have this desire to want to be with the one we love. Right.
Right.
However, there's moments where that's just not what's happening. It's obvious. And it takes a really mature person to be like, I'm not going to stir the pot because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it's time to walk away from this and do
Right.
it
And
in a polite
even
way.
even more mature to go a step further and not only quietly walk away, but see how what part of it you do play. Right? Look at yourself and not
Mhm.
get involved in the I think
Mhm.
this, and this about you. And it is accurate. Like instead of going down to that place that's very easy to go to that would feel so good to do, the
Walking
real
away,
maturity is in just
just,
hold the
yeah,
tongue,
yeah,
respect
yeah.
the silence within.
So a
Wow.
lot of us are experiencing, because of the separation that we're talking about, where there are certain people that are definitely going down a direction of, I don't want to call it fear, because I feel like a lot of people use that word, but it could be fear. But what I really think it is, it's just insecurity.
Right.
I think that so many people are feeling so insecure. They need, you know what I mean? It's like they need to be validated from the
But
outside. They need other
but
people to
ultimately,
validate them.
yeah, I think you're right for sure, but ultimately it doesn't matter what the reason they're responding that way is. I think the response says it enough, and the response speaks for itself. That's where the separation is. There are people who are comfortable with the silence right
Mhm.
now, and people who are jumping out of their skin because of it. There is the symptoms are causing that response, and the response reflects the answer to what's going, like, so it's, I don't feel, yes, I'm pretty comfortable in my own silence right now. I'm not looking for back and forth with people. Um, I don't know what their reasons for the need to jump with their hands in the air and say, look at me, validate me, whatever. Or then when they get really mad and start putting it onto me, they're like the reason they're
Mhm.
jumping up and down somehow is about me. But it's not good, whatever it is, whatever the
Mhm.
reason is. So
So
I send them love, light, and healing.
and so for anybody that's in those kind of situations, um, you know, it's difficult to say, because you have to. What I can tell you is that when you are in a place of maturity, here's another thing. When you're in a place of maturity, you know when to set boundaries. You know when to set healthy boundaries. You can feel when something's happening. It's just, it doesn't match. It doesn't make sense. It does, when all those things are going on, it's like, okay, a healthy boundary needs to be set. And there's something to be said for that, because I think that when people start to set boundaries, the person who's in that place of being lost, not knowing what they're doing, you know what I mean? Like being really insecure, like living in fear, all of that. What happens is that person that you set a boundary with, they're going to not like it. They're
And I
going
just want to clarify, guys, we are sharing this, number one, because it's happening so obviously right now. And number two, it's really, this really, if you're watching this and you're thinking this is about me, it really isn't. This is something we have both observed happening in our lives on a multi-person level. So it's about a lot of people
it's
and
a
a lot of
theme.
things.
It's a
And
theme.
it's a theme. And so we're saying all of this to help everyone. So
Yeah.
it's not about you. If you think it is, it's not. I mean, the story I shared, yeah, if you're watching, it's about
Yeah.
you. But other
Yeah.
than that,
Yeah.
no. I mean, it's really not. This is happening on such a grand scale. It is a theme. Thank you, Jai. And I
A
think a
lot.
lot of you in
Yeah.
the chat are probably experiencing it too.
Yeah. So if you're feeling right now like things are, there's a lot of endings in your life, like that is normal, you guys. Things are supposed to end because you're supposed to move on to something else. What's the next phase? What's the
Right.
next lesson? So that's what you should focus on. What am I ready for now? Now that that's complete, that cycle has completed itself. What am I ready for now? What am I ready to move on to next? Because that is what the universe is asking us to do. Why all of these things are breaking down, so that we can like make our way out of the rubble and like, build something else.
And in other words, if you're not in alignment with somebody, it's okay. Let it fall away gently and with grace. Like it doesn't have to be a mini drama. It doesn't have to be something to fight about. It doesn't even have to be something to cause hurt feelings. It's all it is a representation of where you are and where someone else is vibrationally at this point in time. We're all on the same spiritual journey of, we're all on it, not the same, but we're all on a spiritual journey of growth, right? And so if you and someone else are not in the same place, and you're seeing it because they are at a place of looking for validation where you're starting to get quiet within yourself and grow, send them that love and healing, and thank them, and energetically, for the whatever lessons they taught you, and hope that you did the same for them, and keep it moving.
Yeah, the point is not to get stuck. Don't get stuck. Like, don't get stuck. Like, if the message is clear, move on. There's a couple of questions. What age is the second Saturn return? Is it 58? What happens then? Well, every 29 years, Saturn goes through the whole zodiac. So 59 plus 29. So that would be around 58 years old. And that's another level of maturity.
I think that's very accurate. I noticed that in both of my parents. My parents were teenagers when I was born. My dad was 19 and my mom was 17. He was a lifeguard and she was a surfer girl working at a surf shop. I mean, they were, like young, and, so I've really watched their growth too. They're just a little ahead of me. And so they are both at that age. And I've seen that one, my dad is 60.
Yeah, my parents, when my parents went through that phase too, my parents pretty much, like, they separated, they divorced. My dad moved back to Argentina. I mean, major shifting.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that externally like traumatic or,
for my parents, it wasn't like they did all that crazy, like the crazy stuff, like the life, all that stuff when they were like in their 20s, after, because they started so young. So they went through all that. I'm not doing this with my life then. And at this age, that second Saturn return was more of like, I noticed like this real like mellowing, and sort of like almost like this. They had become responsible parents and adults already for a while, but it became really, it was like that stamp that became sealed,
Right.
Like, okay.
It's the next phase of maturity. So that's what's happening, you guys. So don't feel bad. You know what I mean? If you're the one having to set boundaries, don't feel bad. If you're the one like needing the attention, the thing is, where are you going to grow? Where is your growth? How can you grow from this? When you start to look at situations in your life and think, how can I grow from this? Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Asking yourself, what am I learning from this? What is the universe teaching me right now? That your life will completely change. It will change. That you will find yourself in that silence.
Facts. And I think that the reason we really got to this was I was noticing that that kind of thing happening. So was Jai. And also she's really very becoming very astute in noticing the astrology of things. And I really have been getting strong messages recently about that need to respect the silence and be still. That's that message I've been sharing a lot with you. So the combination of those things has had a really clear message.
Yeah, I love that.
Be still and respect the silence. There's a lot to glean from that. And so right now we've got only 2 on the list that I'm aware of. Has anyone else wanted to get on the list for a personal mini or micro reading with Jai and I? We've got Maribel V and Nicole C so far. I don't think I've gotten any notifiers. Let's see. Is Maribel here? We'll go ahead and get started if there's nobody else. And if you want to get on the list, you know where to go, guys. Whoops.
Yeah, it's all in the description of the video. I'm trying to see if Maribel, if you're here, will you let us know? I don't remember seeing that name in the chat, but
okay, let me see also this list here. Hang on one sec.
Okay. I'm also eating my apples. We're cleansing.
Yeah.
Gotta have the snacks.
I mean, I've got my organic blueberry basket here. So yeah, we've got Maribel V and Nicole C. That's the 2 on the list that I've got so far. Is Nicole here?
Nicole is here. So Maribel is here. So Maribel, will you post up your question so we can get started? And then Nicole can just have her question ready. And if you want to get on the list, there's 2 ways to do it. It's in the description of the video. You can do Cash App, $25 minimum donation to ~Ray of Light Tarot, or you can go to PayPal and the email is in there.
Yeah, and if nobody needs a reading tonight, we will do these 2 and wrap it up and call it a night.
All right. Okay, we got a third person that sent a payment as well.
Okay. So let's start. Did we find Maribel? It's Maribel V or Villarosa. She's here. Okay, so she is first on the list if she is here. Yeah, I've got my organic blueberry basket right here for my cleanse approved flex food snack. And they're good.
Okay, here's Maribel's question. Been good and have kept away, but I want to know if he, the twin, wants to come back or is he in another relationship already?
Okay, Maribel, let's see what we see. I'm using the Arcanum deck with the Thelema, Arcanum and Thelema as clarifiers. I hear Don.
Don? No, he's not here.
Yeah.
You heard someone?
Oh, I thought I heard a door or something. Maybe it was here.
That's the fire truck going by. Gaia might start howling.
Oh. What's going on with Maribel and her twin soul? What's the current energies? And what's the outlook for return?
There she goes.
Oh, guys, I'm going to start. Let me just say a quick little intention here before I really get pulling. Sorry about that. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, angels, archangels, spirit guides, ancestors. Thank you, archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel. Thank you for allowing us to connect tonight. Thank you for protecting my vibration and Jai's vibration, our energy and light. Thank you for the clear and direct messages tonight. Thank you for the guidance and healing messages for all who come in with good intentions and loving vibrations. Get that love vibration flowing in here. That's the smell of the Apollo just calms me.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
It just
yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Isha got on the list as well.
Oh, great, Isha. Thank you. I think there's, I'm getting right off the bat, sort of a mixed energy from him, sort of a split energy. On the one hand, I think he's experiencing some sort of disappointment and loss and sadness. He's in sort of a sad vibration about the connection. And on the other hand, he's got this strong desire to reach out and to communicate and for you two to have a chance to make some forward movement. So let's see. What is it, guys? Okay. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and start here. We've got the Two of Pentacles, Maribel. You know, this is an energy of balancing, or maybe needing to make a choice. I feel strongly that's what it is, some kind of a choice. The Eight of Cups is behind there, which can mean walking away or walking toward something you really desire. We've also got on the board, what came out is, very interestingly, 3 cards that are threes. So we got the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Three of Cups. So real quick, and then the Nine of Wands. Very interesting. Again, it's kind of a split energy here. The Nine of Wands is someone who's being kind of hardcore, pushing through, wounded warrior energy, stubborn, pushing through to finish whatever cycle they're in and not be sort of taken off their course. These threes, though, the number 3 is sort of a number about lessons and karma and learning and also building. So you've got the Three of Pentacles, which represents a desire within him to build something sturdy and stable and lasting with you. The Three of Wands representing him feeling like this is something that he has wanted and like he's waiting for something to give him a signal that it's time to move. And the Three of Cups in this deck especially, you can see, is that energy of the two becoming one. So there is definitely an energy of wanting to come together with you, certainly emotionally, to have an emotional connection again with you. There's an emotional connection between you two that's undeniable, and that's where his desire is strongest, to have that emotional connection again. But I don't know that, I don't get the sense of a return specifically, at least not now. This cycle has to end, and he's almost at the end of it, whatever this is. With this Nine of Wands, there's something definitely being pushed through. As it comes to an end, though, there's definitely a desire on his part, because all we can really read is the energies. There's an energy for this person to come back because of what he desires based on these cards. There's a strong desire and a missing you, right? I feel loneliness in a lot of this, a real loneliness for you. But I don't know what the Two of Pentacles is about. Is he in another relationship? There's something he's got to choose or balance out here. That's the overall energy, the two. So there is something here that's not in balance. But yes, feelings wise, this person definitely longs to be emotionally connected to you again, or to feel that way. Okay. What do you have, Jai?
That's interesting. So there's an energy of, so the mouse, there's an energy of somebody feeling kind of small. Like, picky, like too focused on the details. And it's interesting because I pulled some cards for, a couple cards for her and then a couple cards for him, and what you got, and I'm looking only at the planets. Okay. Although if you find something interesting in these, Jason, let me know. It's the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. But I'm looking at these planets, right? You've got Venus in Virgo and Saturn in Taurus. And those are both earth signs. And Venus, so I'm feeling like this energy of like, right now it's really important for you to ground yourself. It's just important for you to ground yourself and figure out, because Venus and Virgo, Venus is like how you love or what you attract, you know? And it's about getting yourself organized about what you want in your life. So it's like, think about what you want in your life when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love. Is this really what you want? These are questions that you need to be asking yourself. Saturn is the planet of authority. So it's almost like forcing you to make decisions, whether you know if he wants to be with you or not. This is something that you need to do for yourself. You need to find somewhere grounding. And he got two fire signs, the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Wands. And he also got Saturn and Venus, which is wild. But he got Venus in Aries. And Venus in Aries is a very fiery energy. And it wants to go. It wants to do things. It doesn't hold back. It's ready to go. So that kind of like matches, you know, what you said about there's something that he needs to figure out, but he's ready to freaking go. Yeah. And then Saturn, his Saturn in this card is in the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the freedom. It's like, it's interesting because it gives like authority, a flavor of freedom. So it wants it. He's wanting freedom right now. He's wanting freedom from authority. And that could possibly mean that even if he has someone or not, or if he wants to be in another relationship or not, to me, what this is saying is that it's not exactly that, not exactly a good match right now. The energies right now are just not, they're not really aligning.
And that doesn't mean there's not love there, guys. Like there's a lot of love here. So
yeah, wow, that's wild. She said she's Capricorn, he's Aries, and his moon is in Sag. So it's speaking to a lot. There's a lot of messages here. I could keep going deeper and deeper, but what I'm feeling right now is and Capricorn too. Capricorn is an earth sign too. So you have a lot of like grounding, and he has a lot of fiery, like, let's freaking go. that might not,
Yeah.
it might cause disturbance. You know what I mean? So I would say you have to let him explore right now. You have to let him
He's finishing
explore.
something out. Like that's what she,
Yeah.
I think that's it, Jai. Like this 9 of Wands, that's fire. He's finishing something out that he feels passionate about. He feels he's got to do.
Yes. Yes.
So
And
that's important to
Sagittarius
let him.
really wants freedom. It's really hard to pin a Sagittarius down in a relationship. And in Aries too. Aries and Sag, like that's a lot. That's a lot asking him to come into the earth energy. It's kind of it goes against his nature. So
Scorched earth.
Sagittarius, another thing is like Sagittarius also loves to be given freedom. And they will appreciate you so much more for giving them freedom.
Just like Gemini.
That's how they feel love. Exactly. Just like Gemini. They need the independence. They can be in a relationship, but if you get possessive or if you get, needy, they'll run the other direction because they can't stand that. If they're not able to be free and do the things they love, it's not going to work out.
I'm like that too. That my Gemini ascendant. That's the right relationship. Autonomy. Freedom.
Yep. Well, a lot of Virgos too, they tend to stay single.
Yeah.
because the ideal partner never arrives.
Doesn't exist.
They have to be perfect, right? Yeah.
Right.
A side note. But the same thing, they can also get there. You know what I mean? Everybody has.
Well, Virgo's spouse is the divine, so they realize there is no perfection. Just as much as you are a perfectionist, you realize there's no perfection. So you kind of then you can be very compassionate in love from that perspective.
Yeah. Tracy's like, preach, girl. Virgo in the house. Well, thank you. And I guess Nicole's next, right? So you can put a question, Nicole.
Man, I'm killing these blueberries.
I'm feeling the apples, but I don't want to.
I got to give these blueberries a break, man. Fruit is like the best thing on the planet. Thank you for thinking.
What guidance or message does Spirit have for me at this time?
First and foremost, I'm getting a very clear message that you have a need to do sort of a spring cleaning right now, Nicole. No, it's not spring. I know. It's Indian summer, basically. But, or whatever. I don't know. Is it Indian summer? What is Indian summer?
I don't even know.
I don't know. It's the dog days of summer, actually, I think is what it is. But you have a need right now. It's coming through very clearly, Nicole, to do sort of a spring clearing of your space. Go through things, throw things out, really clear your energy, your area, and your energy, and make room. Keep making room. I'm going to pull some cards, but that's coming through really strong for you. Make room. Okay. The more you make room, the more the universe can send that in for you that you desire.
You're also interesting. You got the Nightingale. So you're also, the truth is going to come out. The Nightingale is about speaking your truth. So the truth will come out. That's why you got to make the room to let that happen.
Spirit most want to call it now. The team most want to call it. The machine can move the waters on
it. This is interesting. The zebra is I like to call this the opening your third eye card, and also like receiving more downloads, like seeing things more clearly, and also the zebra can also resemble traveling in your future.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe you need to go on. Maybe you'll be going on a trip that helps you to like speak your truth, open up your truth. Express yourself.
Yeah, I think she is going on a journey.
Expressing yourself.
I think that's definitely what I've got that here too. I've got the overall Ace of Pentacles, and this one has that path there. It's something that you're going to get a clear guidance to go down a certain path. And you've got recent past this Three of Swords, which is a broken heart. And now you've got the Star and the Fool, two majors in your present energy, the Star and the Fool. So you're going through this major transformation, major downloads, major pouring out of your emotions, and coming into this energy of ready to start something new, this new journey with the Fool energy. The part that you're avoiding the most, maybe walking away from some people and things that you have strong emotional ties to, but I think you're feeling a really strong need to peace out on those things.
Mm-hmm. She says she's going
on
the hardest shamanic journey on Tuesday. Yeah.
Whoa.
You also got the buffalo. Nice. So wow. If you're going on a shamanic journey, like look for the buffalo in your journey. Like ask the buffalo to come with you. He will show you very beautiful things. He will show you how to be strong. He will like give you the answers on how to understand what like being in community truly means, like actual support of family. She will show you how to be intentional with everything that you do in your life. He will show you how to pray. Very powerful medicine, the buffalo. Very strong, grounded energy.
You know, I don't know why this is coming through, but I'm going to mention it. You know, not last night, 2 nights ago, when I was dreaming, I woke up. I was awake. It was like one of the half asleep, half awake moments. And in my bed, this woman came to me, and she had this like red type nightgown on like this, Nicole, much like this card. And she was obviously someone on the other side. She had been murdered by her husband. And she was asking me to help her figure out what she was supposed to do now. And she was telling me all this unnecessary information about how she was the greatest cook and she used to make him dinner every night, and she didn't know why he did this to her, and like she knew he could be violent and maybe it was an accident. Did I know? And I was like, I don't even know who you are, sweetie. Like it was so intense. I was like, I don't even know who you are, sweetie. But she was very kind. She was just really confused. But she felt like she had let something happen to her that she could have avoided. Mm-hmm. I don't know why this is coming to me now, but it made me a little uncomfortable. And I just told her to like, please, you know, look for light, you know, that right now she was no longer in the human form. Like she was obviously someone, you know, that needed to go on to something else. And she was very nice. So it wasn't uncomfortable like Sierra, but it felt strange, the experience. And this woman in this card is feeling that similar to me. So I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen to you or you're going to be the victim of violence. Don't get me wrong. No. What I'm saying is there may be a need for you to look at the areas of your life that you're not seeing clearly and see things for what they are. Because there was a lot of regret from this woman about like, what did I not see clearly? What was I lying to? Like she had lied to herself. So if there's any way in which you're lying to yourself, Nicole, address that. Because we're here 1 minute, we're gone the next. And once we're out of this body, we realize how holding on to things and delaying things is such a waste of time. It's so unnecessary and so not what we're supposed to be doing here. There's no time to waste here. We've got so much we want to do when we come here. And by the time we remember, then we've got even less time. Like we got to go, you know? So
she says she's feeling pulled to revise her soul contract with her divine masculine, you know, and when I pulled the hawk and the lion. The lion is about being regal. The lion is the king. And so this is his kingdom. So it's like there's something about also the freedom of the hawk being able to fly, like taking off, you know, is in order to I guess what I'm saying is like there's a lot of energy here pointing towards walking away.
Right. And I just want to say,
but in a regal way.
Yeah. And when you talk about like revising a soul contract with your counterpart, I mean, I know people use terms like that, but the fact is the soul contract you have with somebody is, especially that person, it's not really anything to be, it's just to learn to love unconditionally. It doesn't mean there's no contract saying I have to come back to you if you want me to, I have to like wait for you. No, It's just to learn to love yourself first
Well,
and foremost,
that's the
unconditionally.
lion. That's
So there's
love.
no need to revise it necessarily. It's maybe to revise your understanding of the contract and what it means.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. But this is a definite, this is a journey that you're on. I don't feel an energy of like you're on a journey with someone else.
I don't either.
I very much feel like you're on your own.
Well,
in a good way.
Well, yes, you do have the Hierophant card staring at me as we're saying that. So there is some very strong stuff in place here. But again, it's not about, you don't have a contract saying I have to be ready and waiting when this person decides they want to be in my life. Absolutely not. The contract is to teach each other to learn unconditionally, to love unconditionally, even if that means walking away from each other, whatever it takes for you to be on a path of love unconditionally. And that's not something you really want to revise, I think. But if it is, by all means, I'm not trying to tell you what you feel. I just think sometimes there's a misunderstanding about what the contract is and what, because if we're really living our part of the contract, it's not requiring anything of us for that other person.
So it's important for you to speak your truth right now, to allow yourself to, I feel like go do something fun for yourself. Go, like, this shamanic journeys can be really, really intense. Definitely call on the spirit of the buffalo to be with you, but also like have fun, because expressing yourself is about creativity.
You're going to heal so much throughout this process, Nicole. You're going to come out of a lot of confusion and illusions too. I'm
gonna speak to that, Nicole. She says, my contract with him is that I won't abandon him, which I haven't. So here's the thing. You're thinking about it in terms of 3D. You're not abandoning him ever. You're not abandoning him in the spirit world, in the energy world. Right. You by doing your thing and walking, if the universe is saying you need to freaking go and you're wanting to like break this contract or revise it or however you want to call it, you need to just go.
Right.
Because that is the universe giving you the answer of like, this is what's going to actually like release that. And it's not, it's interesting that you say that, but the truth is that you might leave him in the physical, but you'll never abandon him.
No. And the way we look at things through that lens, this physical lens, is so different when you're outside of this body. Even if you'd had an NDE and you're deaf, you would see for those 10 seconds, like, oh, dude.
None of it matters.
Like, yeah, it's all chill. Like, what was I doing up in there?
None of it matters.
Right, wrong. Don't do this. Don't do. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And then you learn, you gain freedom from that. And that's where I really feel you stepping into that. If you step into that, it's really your choice.
Yeah, if you want to.
Because having a contract where, you're meant to like not abandon someone, that's intense. Like, and I bet you that the main lesson within a journey like that is to release yourself of it.
Probably.
And that is
if
probably
that's what it is.
What you have to look,
Yeah. If you really believe that's what the contract is, then it's got to be something to do with releasing yourself from that, because that's a lot of responsibility for someone to have in the physical world to another person that's not like your child.
I know it's possible, but it sounds like really, really karmic. Mm-hmm. Not that that's a bad thing. That's, if it has to be that way, it has to be that way. And there's a lesson to be learned. But it's also, the lesson can be free yourself from this. You free him too. You know what I mean?
And whatever,
because he's
whatever
bound
you choose.
to it too.
Yeah, and like Jai was saying, you can choose what you do. Like whatever you choose to do, even if you choose to like, if I choose right now to totally abandon my mission, my path, I'm still gonna and I be a hedonist from now till I die. I'm still gonna bring valuable things back to source that I learned and did. Do you understand? Like nothing goes unfulfilled. Like something good comes of it. Information gets brought back to source, and that's the point. Mm-hmm. Expansion and information retrieval. Mm-hmm. Learning, growth. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Like on a really large scale level, right? It's all right.
Cool. Yeah, she feels that that's what I have to break to free of it. Yeah, you do. And to free him of it too, because who wants to be bound like that, Shaman said my Akashic record with him was volumes. We have left each other many times.
Cool.
Well then, it's time to step out of that wheel of karma. And who's next?
Well, yeah, I'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. Okay. I don't have anyone else on the list. I'm sorry, let me go while you're.
Oh yeah, check the list.
I'm sorry, guys. Did anyone else? Okay, so I don't have anyone else here.
I
It
think
looks
a
like
couple
on
of people
Akash
check.
app.
Yeah, check PayPal.
Okay. And yeah, if anyone else wants to
says
get on the list, we don't. What'd she say?
Laminitic and Esha. So check PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Michelle. No, I don't have Isha. Nope.
Let me see. Where did she say?
We don't have Isha. Just limit. I have Michelle. Michelle
She said
L.
she
That's
sent
Laminitic, but I
payment
don't have.
PayPal. I'm assuming Laminitic is Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
let's
have
get
her.
with her. Let's get to her question while Isha responds. Okay. So when I close my eyes, I sometimes see a doorway with white light/black. It's either up close or further away, or certain objects or people appearing in the doorway. What is this doorway, or is it nothing? Oh, it's definitely something.
Wait, white light. Okay, you got to read that
So,
one again to me.
yeah. So when she closes her eyes, she sees a doorway, right? And it's either got white light or black light. It's sometimes it's close, sometimes it's further away. Sometimes there are certain objects or people appearing in the doorway. So what is the doorway? Or is it nothing?
Yeah.
What is she
Yeah.
seeing? I'm going to pull some cards. But I also think about the meaning of it, you know, on my own.
When I
Doors
just
are portals.
think of that, I think of like it's a portal to some other dimension, most likely. What? God.
What are you seeing? You know what I mean? You know, it's interesting that you say that because we talked about it in the beginning of the video. If you guys missed it, watch the replay. But the universe is asking us to step through a portal. It is a major portal, and it's a portal of releasing. So you're being invited to walk through the door, you know, and take
don't you think, Jai?
Further.
Yeah, don't you think, Jai, like a big part of that when you experience something like that is what are you feeling at that moment? Like, because a lot of it, like the experience I had with that woman, that deceased woman, she was beautiful too. It's not even like their mouths have to move when they talk to you. Like you just feel so much when it comes to these interdimensional experiences. You know, there's like so much more that you feel, at least from my experiences. So what are you feeling about this doorway you're seeing?
Yes, that's a great way to put it. What do you feel like you want to walk through it? Are you curious about it? Do you feel called by the door? Also, what I would do is go into a meditation, and visualize walking through the door.
Yeah, look at this. Look what came out for her.
Show me.
The High Priestess,
Whoa.
the Four of Wands.
What?
The Six of Wands, Victory. The Seven of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So it's like confusion, illusions, wish fulfillment. Obviously, you're leveling up or doing something.
Wow.
Here. This is all about this. And there's
definitely leveling up.
Wow.
I think you're getting ready to like do some major work. The beaver is about working really hard. And the dolphin is that the higher senses. Dolphins are very empathic. They're like, you know, more energetically evolved than humans. Like
dolphins are like, there are legends that the first aliens that inhabited the earth were dolphin-like creatures. Dolphins are like, that's why people want to swim with dolphins that know anything about what's going on here.
They're
like,
also,
I'm dying to swim with some dolphins, just chill and exchange energy.
They're also healers. They're healers.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe the High Priestess card and the Four of Wands came out, Jai? Like, that's intense for me. When I saw those cards flat, I was like, well, the veil is just like torn almost. Like whatever it is, you got to jump through, Michelle. Like,
Open
Michelle
the
has
door,
some
yeah.
intense stuff. You know, she just did a past life regression, quantum healing. You know how I told you about the quantum healing hypnosis technique I'm
Dude,
getting certified to do? She just did a session of that like a week ago.
Yeah, it is mind-blowing.
Guys, I'm getting certified to do that. It's really expensive. It's almost like going back to college or something. I'm going to get certified to do that. I'm opening up an office in New York City. I'm going to be a certified hypnotist doing that shit for people.
Hell yeah.
And it's going to do well. It's going to help a lot of people.
So there you go, Michelle. So Esha said, wow, sorry. Oops, my thing cut off. I'm not sure if she actually made the payment. Did you actually make the payment? Yeah, I can't wait for you to do that, Jason. I can't wait for you to go on that freaking journey, man. I love school.
Yeah, me too.
I love being in school.
I told you the other night, it was like I knew, you know, I've been interested in that stuff with like Dolores Cannon and they like, but just when I was watching that woman's for some reason, her near-death experience and then the ad they did, like I was like, I'm doing it. I've been thinking about, I'm doing it. And I just saw myself, like I saw The Office. I saw like the schedule, people coming in to do this stuff and like doing like God. Having people go into their trances and coming out and saying like, oh my God, they healed me. Because, you know, they do like that healing is not just your past life. There's that she calls it the consciousness. They go in and heal people's ailments while they're in that trance.
Remember what Dawn said about you?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
That he got shamanic. I can't remember the way he said that.
Vibes or something.
When I first talked to Jai and her husband, Dawn, like on FaceTime or whatever, we had a meeting about something. And Dawn was like, well, first of all, I have to say I get like very shamanic vibrations from you. Like you just need to step into that. I was like, dude, Dawn's a badass. Like,
get out of here with that shit, like that,
you're like, whoa.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm super excited, but that's where you're at too, Michelle. Like you're on the, I don't know what it is for you. It's something that's going to bring victory into your life. And it's also bringing a wish fulfillment. And but right now you've got this with the 7 of Cups, you've got this confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to know. Here's what I've learned. When I don't know, it means I don't need to know. Ooh. It's okay not to know.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're not supposed to know yet if you don't know. It's that simple. But what I do know is you've got a portal here and you've got the High Priestess here. So this is saying connect to your heart space, stay connected. You hold the key. The wisdom is already within you. It's already been planted, right? Dropped into your head. And you just have to be ready to go through that portal when it shows up for you, especially if it feels right. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. This is karmic too.
Esha said she paid through PayPal.
Okay.
Will you check it? Will you check it again? Yeah, he just checked it and he didn't see anything, Esha.
It's strange.
Are you sure you wrote the correct email? Because it's easy to confuse that email. Check your payment, Esha, and check the email that you sent it to and make sure that it's correct. Otherwise, you can always cancel it and make the payment again. It'll just say pending if it hasn't gone through, you know? But yeah, I'm so excited. There's so many epic journeys. Like for me, myself, I am going on a very powerful journey at the end of September.
So we didn't receive anything from Isha.
Strange.
Definitely
so,
not.
Will you check the payment that you made and make sure that if it says pending and hasn't gone through, and make sure that the email is correctly spelled. But yeah, I've just been like, you know, for me, myself, I'm going on an epic adventure.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm moving to another state. Like it's
you just did that training, right? I mean, that is, I haven't even talked to you about that. We get so sidetracked on other stuff.
The Pachacuti Mesa stuff.
Yeah, I've been dying
yeah. So that. I am getting like it's
oh, by the way.
Yeah, right. It's I'm getting shamanically trained in the South American shamanism, like stargates. Basically, it's like learn how to.
Well, that's where
stargates through your altar.
Hermes? Is it Hermes or Thoth? No, Thoth. Who you connected to? Thoth.
Yeah. In my vision,
Thoth went to South. Like he is tied to the Incas.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know that. And you are actually can trace your ancestry to the Incas.
Yep. Yep.
Dude,
My grandpa.
don't play with me. Don't play with me right now. That's real talk, though. That's real talk, you guys. We're not playing. Like, that's real talk.
Yeah. We're not playing. No, yeah, we had a journey. We had a vision journey, and it was those came to me, and it was like
it's probably like your great grandpappy.
Oh, geez.
In the Inca civilization, I'm telling you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Stranger Things.
So that happened, and the training is not over. It's a year-long apprenticeship. There's 3 more sessions.
Whoa.
They're 3 months apart. So there's another session in November, another one in February, and then another one in May. So I'll be coming back to Colorado during those times.
Nice.
It's so crazy that it's happening in Colorado, and I'm like, okay, I have to come back over here to like finish my training. But yeah, so that Pachacuti Mesa is literally like learning how to open up stargates with an altar. A mesa is an altar. It's a very specific altar that has very specific placements of stones on it that make a spiral. That when you activate them through incantations, and you turn it on, and you like wake it up, and then you freaking go. You astral travel. You go through the center of your altar. There's a centerpiece. It's called the Kuichi. And it's your spirit. So you like travel through that portal into other dimensions to go on your journeys. Yeah,
that's big talk right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Wild, right?
Really, really freaking wild. That's where that's where I feel like, guys, I'm just gonna say this. That's where I feel like the mistake is made when it comes to people looking for quote aliens. They're looking out there. It's dimensional. It's dimensional. When you're looking out there into outer space, you're looking in the third dimension into outer space. They're right here. They're right freaking here. It's another dimension. That's all.
And you might be one of them that chose.
You are one. We are right
into the physical time-space reality so that you can make a difference from the inside out.
Right. And the control matrix.
That's what light workers are.
Be trying to keep you under that control, thinking you're just small. They want you thinking you're small, guys.
Oh, dude, that freaking conjunction, man. And I'm getting ready to record my videos, you guys. I'm so excited because if you guys don't follow me, let me put up some emojis. But so you guys can follow me if you don't follow me. But I'm getting ready to record my videos for September. I usually put out videos at the beginning of the month. And there for each of the signs, I go through each of the sun signs. But this time what I'm doing different, because I've been getting so much into astrology, is I'm going to add a whole section in the beginning of my videos that goes through how your specific, it's either going to be sun or rising sign only. It's not going to be moon and Venus. It's going to be just sun sign and rising sign. And so how it's affecting you, in which house it's affecting you. So I'm going through like the major astrological aspects of the month and talking about how it's affecting you in which house, in which way. Cool. And then I'm going to add some tarot to it as well, to add to your specific message. I'm so excited. Like I've been taking notes. I've got all these like charts that I'm writing up. Like
I love that. I love that. Like, I love all that.
Yes, I know. Like I'm getting freaking ready to freaking step in a whole new level. Take the channel to a whole new level, you guys.
It's going to be intensely amazing. But you guys, I'm really interested in right now, I guess because I do like the relationship stuff so much, I'm really interested in like the moon sign and Venus sign and the interplay of that, you know, because moon is really like your emotional self. And then Venus is your who you are in relationships, right? So those are the two that are really of interest to me. So where are we at? Is somebody ready?
The moon sign and Venus, you said?
The moon and Venus signs are the two that are most interesting to me, right? Like the emotional.
You can get glimpses. Yeah, you can get glimpses of, but so yes. And then also your sun sign and your rising sign, they're basically like, your sun sign is like how you feel on the inside, like how you feel you are on the inside. But your rising sign is how how other people see you.
Mm-hmm.
which is very interesting. It's how you express yourself in the world is your rising sign.
On the inside, I'm a Virgo, which means I'm like, not like nerdy in my head, but on the outside, I'm a Gemini. So people are like not seeing me for who I really am.
And I'm both. I'm a Gemini on the inside.
She's a Gemini through and through.
So you can have, because I have both signs in the same position.
You're just Gemini everywhere. It's really, really, really intense, but it's cool.
Well, you know, the moon. Okay, so here's the thing about the moons. Whenever the moon is in your sign, that, you know, that's when things are going to probably feel like really powerful. But because the moon changes so often, like that affects you as well. But Venus travels a lot slower than the moon, so you can feel like wherever Venus is at, and especially when it comes back to your sign, it's like it'll feel like you'll feel a resonance with that energy, a very strong resonance, because it's part of who you are. I
feel that, and I'm not in a like a romantic relationship, but my Venus is in Leo, and Venus, the planet Venus, is in Leo right now,
right?
And I have just felt that energy of just
there's
nobody's
some more
effing with me. Like I feel good, like I'm just kind of like, it's all good. I'm just rolling with the punches. They don't even feel like punches, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't hurt to get hit. It doesn't hurt to get hit. Hurts a lot worse to get broke.
Yeah. You can, check PayPal again, because Esha said it should have gone through now. And then I'll answer a couple of questions in the chat. Thanks, Rebecca. I really appreciate that. It's really sweet of you. I am definitely trying. You know what? It's been a journey for me of stepping into more purpose, getting into all this astrology. It is also a lot of information. Sometimes it's very, very overwhelming. And there are times where it's like, wow, there's so much to learn here. You can go so deep. But I realized that the time is now. And so I'm not afraid to jump in, because the universe is telling me you need to just go for it. You need to just, and like I said, I feel like I already know it. I'm just learning to remember it. Esha, you can put up your question.
Yeah, Esha, you're good. Well, Jai, you know, not only like when it comes to what I'm doing with the quantum healing hypnosis, not just what Don said, but you know what people always say to me when I like do readings for them and stuff? Half the time people say that felt like therapy, and your voice feels so soothing to me.
Dude,
hello, I should absolutely be putting people in a trance. I should be putting people in the trance.
Yes.
Someone with a soothing voice.
Jason, I want to do that training with you. I'm such a savage.
Dude, we need to do it.
Let's do it. Oh my God, dude, Don was going to want to do it too.
He needs to.
We should all do it together.
That's Dolores Cannon. That's how she learned all of that stuff. She
do
coined that.
Let's look it up and like.
Okay.
You know, do you know that they have trainings in Hawaii?
They have like level 1, level 2, level 3. Like it goes, it's intense.
They have them in Hawaii, dude.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I started manifesting that I started manifesting that the moment you said the word Hawaii. Okay, let's do it. Like I'm manifesting it already.
Can you imagine? Like, let's go chill in the ocean, you know, with the dolphins. Oh my God. Dude. Yeah, no, it's wild. Let's make it happen. It's gonna happen. You know, that's one of those things that is in the back of my mind. I'm like, I don't know how, but I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
One of those things. Like I feel, okay, so here's what I feel. This is the modern day mystery school. When you get passionate about something, that's your mystery school. You're in the mystery school and you're like, the next class I need to take, or the next thing I need to learn or find my expertise in is the universe tells you. Like for me, it's astrology right now. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It just came like all of a sudden one day I was like, I heard it. Like you need to go way deeper into the study. And I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to listen to that. You have to listen to those impulses.
Like people who say like, oh, I don't really pay attention to astrology or whatever. Well, it's because you've never paid attention to astrology. If you pay attention to astrology, there's no denying how accurate it is.
Right.
It's like, so accurate, you know, I mean, everything is so connected.
Yeah.
And how can you just think about the fact, like with eclipses, the sun and the moon, the sizes of those two stars are made so that they can literally cover one another, like the dimensionally.
They're exact. Yeah.
Is that I mean, how is everything not so? Then how can you not take that fact and then leap? It's not a leap to go, well, the stars affect everything. Everything is written in the stars in some way. I think it's more lack of intelligence to say it doesn't make sense.
You know, my theory is that this language was brought to us.
Right.
Because it comes from ancient times. Ancient civilizations were using astrology. How did they even know there was planets?
Right.
Like,
they knew.
Like, hello? The language was brought to us, and I feel like this language is part of many solar systems. And this is like, it's geometry, you guys.
It's geometry.
It's sacred geometry. And sacred geometry is like where we come from, the 5 platonic solids, the flower of life.
The flower of life. You know, since I watched chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4 about the flower of life that you sent me, I'm seeing that flower of life. I'm seeing that flower of life symbol everywhere.
Dude, that's
everywhere.
It's epic.
Like, you know, like a couple videos after that, I was like, did you see the flower of life in that? Did you see the flower of life in that? Like everywhere I look now, I see the flower of life. It's intense. It's very like mind blowing. It almost gives me a headache. It's exciting, but it kind of starts to get heavy. Like too much. It feels like it's too expansive for this body.
Yeah.
But I love it.
One question, then I'm going to read you the Esha's question. But somebody was asking about a yod. Very, very quickly, a yod is, it's a geometric formation. It's a triangle. It's a sextile with 2 quincunxes. So it's like a long triangle. But basically, the 2 points at the bottom of the triangle, whatever planets are in that spot, they're in a conversation where there might be a little bit of a conflict and with the 3rd point, but the 3rd point points to how to resolve that conflict. That's what a yod is. Okay, Esha's question. X has been trying to get my attention on Instagram instead of reaching out. I played along for a minute, but then it got childish quick. I just want to be happy. Is this the end of this connection?
Is this connection over for Isha? So I don't want to get into a thing where I'm like answering your question with questions, because you're coming to us to read the truth in this, and I have to say truthfully, no, I don't think this connection is over for you. But my urge is to ask, do you want it to be over? Because from a higher perspective, it's always up to you and your higher self if it's over or not. It really is. However, I do get this 3 of Wands here, and the Ace of Swords and the Sun as the result of the Strength card. So as the result of a balancing of energies here, there is going to be a potential for a new beginning and happiness. However, right now the 7 of Swords is present in this relationship. So there's a lot of sneakiness and deception, but what it actually is truth and blame shifting. Like someone's kind of shifting around things and trying to, like, it's like we were talking about, I don't know if you were here, Isha, gaslighting. When someone tries to put their own perspective onto you, when it's like their perspective is already whack as it is, and then they're trying to put it on you and make it your issues, like calling you names. There's something like that, some sort of gaslighting here. There's a real potential for happiness in this thing, but it's still, look at the overall energy, it's judgment. It's all about the willingness for someone to awaken enough and open their eyes enough to see things very clearly, and then with that information, are they willing to grow? If they are, there's a potential for a lot of happiness. Or you have this strong soul connection. Look, they're holding those kids, that childlike energy of happiness. But are both parties willing to meet in that place? If they're not, then no, it can't happen. Whoa, is that 10 of Cups?
Yeah.
The Sun and the 10 of Cups. You guys have to be willing, though. Listen, the energy's there. But you guys both there has to be a willingness. The Judgment card is the biggest thing here, because there's got to be like an awakening and a realization on his part.
The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made.
Whoa.
Like, and it involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention.
Mm.
In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. And satisfaction will be fleeting.
Do you know what dharma is, Isha? It's a step up from karma.
She said, you explained the situation perfectly, she said.
Move out of the karma and into your dharma, into
the
life.
The tarantula hovers patient and calm like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. Isn't that beautiful?
Nice. That is beautiful. See, that's what people see. I think dharma, it's important though to mention that a lot of people in karmic relationships, they don't there's like a lack of realization. That relationship can absolutely be moved. You can move out of that, and that relationship can be a part of your dharma. It can be a beautiful thing and a part of your purpose.
It is part of your dharma. That is part of your passage.
You can still be in that relationship when you move into that sort of that space too, I think. Like they look at it like there's like, okay, if I'm stuck in this karmic situation, then all it was karmic. So many people don't realize karma, like it's not a bad thing, and it's not like that means this can't happen or this means that can't happen. Or like you said, it is part. It is all. It's not. Don't put a negative slant on something by labeling it in a way that you are intending for it not to mean more than it means. Or people use the label karmic to try and diminish the meaning of something and make it just a lesson.
And also, Esha, she said, I just want to be happy, and I'm even willing to let him go. That's how frustrated and done I was. You have to, like, sometimes, like, for a lot, separation. A lot of people talk about how, they need that time apart, and then somehow they find their way back to each other, and it's like, and then they realize, and that happens sometimes. If it's meant to be, if it's part of your dharmic path, it'll happen. You absolutely need to be with this person to do what you came here to do. It'll happen, But I think you have a dream. That's why the 10 of Cups is here. Because there's also, look, Mars in Pisces. Your dream, your drive is to like have this dream come true. And that's why you're so frustrated, because you've been wanting this dream for so long. And it's just
I feel you.
Frustrating the F out of you, because it was like at one point you might have felt like it was happening, and then all of a sudden now it's not, and you're left with the remains of what, what the relationship is now, and it's not a match to that vision, to that dream.
But
so you
right
have
now,
to be
what's
honest
more
with
important
yourself.
than
That's
that
when you
dream?
got to make your decision.
And right now, what takes precedence over that dream is if loving that person and waiting or doing anything is showing yourself love and respect. If it's not, that dream is not the important thing right now. It's like what's 911 emergency, and then what can be on the list of things to deal with later. The dream is important, but right now, in the moment, are you getting the love and respect you deserve from that person? Right. And are you giving it to yourself by that? So if it's not there, cut it, reassess the dreams.
Exactly.
But you got a lot of happiness here. I feel like he's got to step into his truth, and there's definitely some sort of awareness that he's not seeing clearly or being honest about. With the 7 of Swords, there's like this lack of recognition of the truth, or lack of willingness to like take equal responsibility for things, and I don't like that feeling. So until or unless that happens, you can't get to the sun with him.
Right. There you go. Is anybody else on the list? I think we may have one more.
I think that's, do we? I don't think so.
Somebody had said earlier, check. Eb D or something like that. On PayPal, he said.
Oh, okay. I saw Isha's But hers was the last
What
one, unless
is
he
drama?
just put it through.
Drama.
Dharma.
Oh.
Nope.
Drama or dharma?
No, we don't have anyone. We don't
It's
have one on PayPal from that person.
okay.
We have Michelle, Isha, Nicole, Michelle, and Maribel, Nicole, Michelle, and Isha. That's it.
Okay. Dharma is its purpose. It can be destiny. It's service. It's being in service to the world. It's being so mature, having gone through your spiritual evolution and being in a place where now it's like you went through the whole ego, like I am, I need to be admired. I need, you've gone through your whole lessons and you have now landed at a place where now you can serve the world from this new perspective.
Yeah, you hear people talk a lot of times about how, at what point in your life do you points in a person's life? At what point were you less involved in karma and more involved in your dharma? Like, at what point in life did that shift
Life
to be
purpose.
more about instead of just the lessons you've got to get to
It's
that?
spiritual.
So there is a separateness, but but it can be all like. It doesn't have to. That relationship can be part of both.
It's a spiritual path. Yeah.
Right.
Well, all things are passages to get you to a certain place.
Right.
And there's a point where the lessons, they slow down because you don't need that many anymore. Because you've reached a certain level of maturity, spiritual maturity. How's that? Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it. Spiritual maturity. But
yeah,
cool.
I don't have anyone else on the list.
Yeah, it's okay. They haven't responded, so I don't.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes people sometimes just say, I don't know who it was, but sometimes if it's, I mean, sure, if it was someone I know that they weren't making up, but if sometimes people come in and say, yeah, I did, I paid.
Yeah.
It's all good. So yeah.
You're welcome, Valerie. Yay! It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Thank you, guys. Hope you guys have a
muchas gracias, amigas.
Rest of your evening, everybody. Oh, I was gonna say, if anybody has suggestions about what you want for pick a card reading topics, like, can you let me know somehow? Maybe comment on one of my videos or comment on one of my community posts, because that would really help me to know what you guys want in those pick a card readings.
I've gotten a lot of subscribers on my channel ask me to do the pick of cards for the twin soul. Like, is this my twin soul? 1, 2, or 3? That type of stuff.
I actually that's one of the topics that I was thinking of covering. I've come up.
No, I saw that, and I've had people asking me to do that before. That's why I was mentioning. But I like the ones about, like, why are you, like, what is your purpose on this earth? What is your?
Yeah, I like those too. I like the one, a message from your star family.
I mean, they're all important. They're all important.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah, the star family message too, guys. What do you think of that?
Message from your star family.
That's part of, like,
Canadians or Minsakan or,
that stuff. That is speaking my language.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a light worker, if you're a waiver,
waiver.
2 or 3
second waiver right here.
Yep. Second waiver, dude. Dolores Cannon.
Second wave.
All right, you guys. Wave. Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you soon.
Pick me up.
Ciao.